Hey everyone, welcome to our July recap. We had such a good time doing the June recap and showing you guys everything that we have been doing over the month. So we decided to continue it on and show you the month of July.
Yep, here comes July.
Okay, we are starting off our July recap strong. This is a armoire that had a lot of damage to it, and so we restored it to its original color, and we also did the inside of it, but we didn't really show the inside of it. Then on to our first piece that we were putting for sale. We put this on Instagram stories and someone claimed it from stories and they decided they wanted to customize it. And this is the design that she chose. She went with a white dove and then new hardware. Then we went on to another custom work client. This one wanted a retreat and a walnut top, and they wanted to keep the original hardware. And then this custom work client wanted the table restored to its original color, so we had to sand it and basically seal it into its natural color. We were able to get all of the scratches out, and I just love this sheen. I just think it looks so sharp. And on this one, it is a French Provincial, and we ended up going with the color Retreat. She was unsure about colors for a little bit, so we ended up guiding her and showing her some examples of French Provincial pieces in Retreat that we've done before, and it turned out really good. This desk, it had a lot of damage to it, and she just wanted it painted white, so boom, it is now white, and we changed out the hardware. So this is a very big table. We're restoring it to this color, which is underneath, and the finish is wearing off. It's very, very sticky. So let's see what we can do. Here is the final result, and I will let Matt tell you what we did for color.
This was done in the color General Finishes Provincial, but I did put 30% natural in it just to tone it down just a little bit because I thought Provincial was a little dark. And we can always raise the color up a little bit, make it a little darker, but I think this turned out really good.
Now to another piece that we did for the store. We took this French Provincial and we painted it in the color White Dove, just a classic French Provincial look. You can't really go wrong with a white French Provincial look. And customers thought so too. This sold at the store for $5.75. Back to custom work. This is a blanket chest with a lot of damage. The paint was coming off. And so what we did is we were able to stain the top and we painted the base in the color White Dove. Next up is this chest that we painted white to be for a little girl's room, and we also changed out the hardware. Now this month we had two sets that had peeling paint. This is the first one. It was painted black by a previous person, and the paint was literally peeling off. So of course the client wanted it to be black but didn't want the paint to peel off, so we sanded all of this off and painted it black again, and this time the paint will not peel off and it should be a whole lot more durable. I always get so excited when we see these dressers because this is Harrison's dresser, but Harrison's dresser is painted a different color. This one we went with a more neutral. We went with perfect khaki, and we stained the drawers and added some new hardware, and it sold in the store for $5.75. We love this hardware and we love the combination. Next up, this dresser we call the Clover Table. The finish was wearing off and it had a lot of scratches and dings in it, so we restored it to its original color. We color matched it to the original and it turned out so good. Then it was time for our second peeling paint job of the month, which was this chest and two nightstands. And again, this paint just peeled right off, so we had to strip the entire thing down, which is a whole lot more work than we anticipated, but we love the results. It turned out so good. Then to another piece that we sold in the store, we put this as a white French Provincial and changed the hardware out, and it sold for $525. Next up, we have a 5-piece bedroom set, and this was all painted in the color white. Benji likes to think that the color was inspired by him, but we had a mirror that we painted white. We also had a hutch. I had one of these growing up, and it was kind of the same color too. I guess it was just the trend, back then, but I don't know what we were all thinking. It's kind of like those shag rugs. I mean, it was something, but I'm glad that it is white now. I feel like it looks a whole lot better. I don't know what can really match that yellow color, but anything will go with white. And I think that's just why it's such a classic look. The desk had a laminate top, so we did have to use a special primer to make sure that our paint would adhere to it, but everything else was pretty straightforward. Then we went on to these 2 nightstands, and the client did not know what was underneath this, but she wanted a walnut top and she wanted the seashells removed, and so she also wanted the base painted in the color cotton knit. And when we painted the top of these nightstands walnut, we realized that the trim around it was a different type of wood and the stain color looked completely different. So we actually went in with 2 different stains to kind of marry the 2 looks. One had a lot more red in it, so we had to counteract and put more of a red stain onto the trim, but it looks so good. Then we went on to this secretary desk, and I don't know why, my mom has this secretary desk too. I guess it was just like a very nostalgia month for things that I had growing up in my house. But we sanded the entire thing down and we stained it in the color Cabernet by General Finishes, and our client was so happy. Then we had this desk that we put up for sale. We wanted to paint it in a white color, but it had so much bleed through, so we decided to go with a wood look by painting it in the color Perfect Khaki and then going in with a custom finish to give it a faux wood look. We didn't get a before video of this, but this is a picture of the before and this is the picture of the after, and it sold within 12 hours for $575. We did a custom finish on the top and cotton knit on the base. I love a chest restoration, and this one was so fun to work on. The copper was all messed up. The wood had a lot of scratches and dirt and dings in it. This was the before and this is the after. We used Brasso to clean up the copper. We sanded and stained the chest, and now it looks brand new, and these are always the most gratifying pieces to flip. Next up was a table and a dresser that they use as a buffet. Look at the center of here and remember what it looks like before, because in the after it just looks so much better. The finish was wearing off. There was a lot of damage and worn finish on the top, and they didn't know if they were going to go with provincial or antique brown, and ended up going with antique brown. And as you can see, there are no more scratches, dings, the finish is intact, and they liked it so much that they're actually going to be bringing us some chairs and another small table to refinish, which is really the ultimate praise and compliment that a customer will be a repeat customer. That just always means the world to us. Our next client brought us this dresser that they had started as a DIY project and realized that it was more work than they were willing to put into it, so we painted it in the color iron ore for them. Then we had a desk that had been painted multiple times. The top had been peeling off so much that even though we didn't charge them for it, we just ended up sanding off the entire top of the desk. Otherwise, our finish would have just been on top of their peeling paint and it would have caused them problems later. But this was the before with all of the scratches and dings and stains and brush strokes galore. And here's the after. Well, we never promise perfection with painted pieces unless we're stripping it down and restoring it to the original. This is very much improved and looks new and is perfect for a little girl. I'm not sure how we managed to get so many peeling paint pieces, but then we may need a little bit of a break for the next couple months and be a little bit more strategic on making sure that we don't get any peeling paint pieces, because our work was cut out for us this month with all of these pieces. Then we had this fun little vanity. This is also going to go into a little girl's room, and so of course we're painting it into the color cotton knit, and it's just a soft white, but here's the before and here is the after. And before you come at us, the husband has a glass company, so they said don't worry about spraying any paint onto the glass because we're going to be replacing it. Otherwise, we of course clean the glass before we send it back home. We hope you liked this July recap video. We're having so much fun doing these monthly videos. If you like them too, make sure that you like and subscribe and leave us a comment encouraging us to keep putting forth the effort to do these monthly videos and keep up with what we do.